You've been speaking to some of the residents. What do they have to say to you?
Yes, good afternoon, Colette. So I suppose, look, the residents, some of them were accommodated in a nearby hotel, but they've obviously been making their way back here to the complex this morning and now throughout the afternoon, sort of hanging on, waiting for any sort of news. A lot of them wondering when they'll be able to get back inside. Some of them were brought in, escorted back in to pick up some essential belongings. For example, one lady we spoke to, Stacey Nolan, she was able to collect the buggy for her child last night just because simply they needed it. Stacey lives here with two of her children, Arabella, her little girl, and her 5-year-old son, who she said were understandably very frightened by what had happened. Thankfully, the family weren't home at the time when all of this unfolded. They were out and about getting a bite to eat. But in terms of them being accommodated, Colette, last night, unfortunately, they sort of didn't manage to get accommodation. They found themselves actually sleeping in the hotel reception here at the Crown Plaza, which is just right next door to Falcons View apartment complex. She said their 5-year-old child fell asleep at 9 o'clock last night, so they decided to stay and sleep in the hotel reception. Stacey says they really don't know at this stage the extent of the damage, be that maybe water damage. They're still sort of waiting to get in and find out.
We didn't stay there last night. We slept in the hotel next door in the lobby, but we haven't been in the apartment or anything, so we don't know. We slept in the lobby of the apartment last night, me and the two kids.
The lobby, the lobby of the hotel?
Yeah.
Wow. And was there a bed in the lobby or 2 sofas?
4, 5, 6. You see the hole over there where the fire started on the first one. This is my room on the left. That's the room actually where I live in. So literally the wall was, like protecting me from the fire.
Well, Colette, Dublin Fire Brigade say they still have a team on site here conducting further investigations to establish exactly what caused this fire. The majority of the residents living here, Colette, are renters, and they're people who are, in most cases, a lot of young families actually. Met a lot of people with small children. Spoke to another lady this morning who was saying that her children are frightened, that they're scared to come back to the apartment, but obviously this is their home. But in the meantime, Colette, they don't know exactly when it is they'll get back. In some cases, some of the apartments you can probably see in the footage that they were lower down. Perhaps there may be water damage, perhaps the reconstruction will be less than those, of course, that were at the centre of the fire. But the truth is there is no clarity at this point. It's far too soon to say. This, obviously, Dublin West is a hugely populated area. There really are very little vacant properties. So in terms of where they're going to be living, it's looking likely that it will be hotel accommodation, certainly in the immediate future. And when they actually get home remains unclear.
Zara King, our news correspondent live in Blanchardstown, thank you for all of that.